find my talents the other day. I brought one down, left it here, brought it down, found my talents in my little down.
I just found a box that actually had a talents in it.
What? You're so excited.
That's something down the kashish.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is this. This one's beyond the kashish. One of my favorite places. Mine too. I volunteered there for a year. Deep year. In Bulgaria. And I was working with a 5 and 9-finger arpeggist. A lot you can learn from that one finger that's not there.
I bet there is.
You learn to measure twice and cut once.
Did I tell you to go introduce myself or not?
You don't mind.
No.
Okay, I need to see the word. There's one right here.
There is?
Yeah, I used to have one with everything marked up. But we'll do that.
No worries.
Have an issue.
So, Shabbat Shalom. How about if we sing?
How about?
Deal? Let's welcome Shabbat in song. No page, but nigun.
Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Havana Shira. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Let us sing. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Havana Shira. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Let us sing once more. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Let us sing. Shabbat Shalom.
So, a little pedagogical moment. If we take a look at our leaflet, our handout, and we look at the date today. I'm giving the cantor time to light the candles. This is a good partnership. If you look at the date today, today is August 10th, but look at that Hebrew date. Today is the 30th of Av, it's the Rosh Chodesh of Elul. It is the last Shabbat of the 5th month of the year, leading into the 6th month, meaning that we're almost in the 7th month, but it really means that exactly 1 month from tomorrow is Rosh Hashanah.
Oh,
Cantor sigh.
I'm so happy you gave me that time to light the candle.
That's all you get. But so, friends, tonight is the Shabbat in which we announce Rosh Chodesh Elul. And 1 month from today is Rosh Hashanah, is Erev Rosh Hashanah. And the only month that is not announced is the month of Tishrei in Jewish life. So we would be announcing, along with synagogues all around the world tonight and the Shabbat, that it is the month of Elul coming, and we would offer the blessings of the new month. So we do that with lighting the blessings of Shabbat as well. So we would turn to pages 120 and 121, and I was about to invite Gail to kindle the candles of Shabbos.
She'll be right back.
Gail, you're going the wrong direction. The candles are this way. Page 120, 121, we invite our temple president in honor of her lighting the candles for the first time in a new house.
Yes, yes.
to light the candles in this her house to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch, Baruch, sorry.
Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And now we turn to page 123, where we find our Shabbat Kiddush blessing, and we rise to honor Shabbat. And here's one for you.
Oh, yay.
And
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, באהבה ורצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
And as we've stood to welcome Shabbat, we now stand and turn one to another, left and right, and front and back, and greet one another with a wonderful Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Mwah. So good to see you. Oh, good. Shabbat shalom. You had a great trip? Oh, I love to hear that. It's fabulous. There's never enough time. Never.
So as we might be seated, we continue singing our way through Shabbos. Page 130. Page 130.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria לצורי שנו, לכנפניו בתודה. נריה, נריה לצורי שנו, בזמירות נריה לו. to sing unto God a new song, Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz, page 131. Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash, Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
We continue turning to page 138 and 139, where we find Lecha Dodi, that most symbolic message of Shabbos, that we welcome Shabbat as a bride, and then we go to greet that bride, and then we rise in our seats and we stand and we welcome again. And so as we sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, yet all these verses are just wonderful ways to recognize from left to right, as we'll see in some of the verses, that Shabbat is all around us when we let it be in our presence. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat negabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat negabela. Sham וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, בשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבורני עלייך נגלה לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוניה סגולה. בואי לה, עלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We turn to page 146. We remain standing, where we find the Baruch Hu, and we sing, asking if we're awake, if we understand.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'yadov ma'ariv ha'aviv.
On page 149, this is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. We continue together as we turn the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works in a living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivdecha bebeitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Please read responsively with me on the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in the dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations shall be one and at peace.
Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefene, osefene. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. יאללה לי לה 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 לה, יאללה לי לה לה, יאללה לי לה 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 לה, יאללה לי לה לה, יאללה לי לה 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 לה, יאללה לי לה לה. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Say, anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch, leolam, leolam va'ed. Yala, lai, 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 yala, lai, lai, lai. Yala, lai, 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 yala, lai, lai, lai. Yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. ונאמר כי בלע אדוני את יעקב, ויעלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני. יאללה lai 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 lai, yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai 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 lai, yalla lai lai lai. Ga'al Yisrael.
We turn to pages 160 and then 162 for the Hashkivenu, asking that the Holy One give us the quiet of the evening and then a morning of Shabbos refreshed and renewed. And then page 162 of Hishamru, that we might keep Shabbat.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Malkeinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol amo, Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. We continue with Vishamro at the bottom of 162. Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, la'asot et hashabat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת
I thought you were going to finish the flourish.
Oh no. Shabbat vayinafash.
My flourish. We continue with the tefillah, our moment to rise and to pray, having warmed ourselves up with approaching Shabbat. Now we approach God. Page 164, we rise.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yaki teilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yaki teilatecha. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We continue each of us personally and privately to the end of the Amidah, page 181. When we've concluded our prayers, we may be seated.
Shalom al Yisrael Lamecha Tasim le'olam Shalom al Yisrael טסים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. 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 שלום רב על ישראל עמך, טסים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, טסים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל. בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, טסים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, טסים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We turn now to page 371, where we find our prayer for healing, the Mishaberach. And we take this moment to bring into this room those who would otherwise be here, but maybe with this Shabbat facing or recovering from procedures or injuries and accidents, who may be themselves concerned for others. And we allow our wellness, even if we're not 100%, to infuse our prayers on behalf of those and allow all of us to be one on this Erev Shabbat. So we invite you to ponder and reflect and think of those for whom your prayers for healing are extended. And then we invite you to rise, and we'll invite you to share names, and then we'll sing our prayer of healing, that we exclude no one and include everyone. And there's a lot of us standing today, and there are many who are in our prayers and thoughts. I might say, the cantor and I have been running to hospitals today, and the good news is that we're not only bringing blessings, but receiving blessings, because wellness is not that far away. We mentioned names. Bob. on page 371.
Hey, thank you. Bob and Paulette Reese, Cantor, Natalie Young, Larry Rubin.
Cantor, Natalie Young, Bob and Paulette Reese, Sheila Weiss, Ramel Cinco, Pat and Sarah Wade, Tamar Davidson, Julie Taus, Leslie Roth.
For each, our prayer of healing on page 371.
Blessed are you, Adonai, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. Amen.
We turn to our Torah service, and you'll find in your Shabbat leaflet perhaps a copy of the Torah portion, the selection from Parshat Re'eh, the fourth parsha in the book of Deuteronomy, from which we'll be reading today, and we're delighted that we are going to have a bima filled with participants in a moment. We have tonight two young people of our congregation who are marking the 8th anniversary of their B'nai Mitzvah, who will be reading our Torah for us tonight. We have those who are sharing birthdays in August, and we have quite a few. And we have those who are sharing anniversaries in August, including a 50th coming up shortly. And so we're going to fill the bima with Simcha celebrations in just a moment. But first, we need our Torah. So page 362, our Torah service, we rise to share Torah.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kemaasecha, malchutcha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai meloch leolam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim heitiva virtzoncha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, tivnei chomot ונישא אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד, אחד אלוהינו גדול אדוננו קדוש שמו, גדול אדוני איתי ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, ככל בשמיים ובארץ, ככל בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני המלאכה והמתנשא לכל ראש. ישראל מאורייתא חדו, ישראל מאורייתא חדו. ישראל מאורייתא חדו. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה. תורה אורה, תורה, הללויה, הללויה. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה. תורה אורה, אורה, הללויה. ואורייתא חדו, ישראל, ישראל, ואורייתא חדו. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה, תורה, הללויה. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה.
Yep. Okay, there it is, right up there. Okay. So, 8 years ago this Shabbos, the two of you with your brother Jacob became B'nai Mitzvah. I thought I had a good being a twin and sharing my bar mitzvah with my brother, but you guys were triplets. And so if you don't know, I've had the chance to meet Rafi and Alitza, and this is their bar mitzvah portion, but they share this Shabbos with their mom and their dad because it's their parents' birthdays coming up next week. So come on up. And we got other birthdays in the room. I know David's got a birthday. Jerry, your birthday's today, right? On this very day, come on up.
Who
else has birthday in August? Any other August birthdays? Just birthdays. Cantor Davidson is going to be 29 this Shabbos.
Which is amazing because this is the 35th anniversary of my bar mitzvah.
Really?
Yes.
We get a retard. And so
That's why I got someone else to
August birthdays. Now August anniversaries. Stephen Josie, you're 50 this month.
Wow.
Whoa. And they don't look a day over 25. Who else has anniversaries? Zarika, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
Zarika, what's your anniversary? And when did you get back from Israel?
Yes, last night.
You got back from Israel last night?
That's why they don't know.
I don't even know where I am.
This is your shul. And how was the trip? Did you get the letter I sent?
Absolutely.
Good.
Thank you.
And you have to tell me. The mitzvah of Shaliach mitzvah of sending tzedakah funds with someone traveling to Israel. We had a chance to study together, Zarika and I, that mitzvah, and then conduct it. Anybody else with an anniversary in August? All right. So we've got
A lot of folks.
the 50th. Jerry and Zarika, you don't know what anniversary yours is.
53.
53, 48, 26. And I'm not going to ask birthdays. I'm not asking it either. But isn't it wonderful to have a bima filled with simcha? And so we're going to invite all of you to share together. Come close, come close. You've got to be certain that Litza and Rafa read the Torah perfectly. So you've got to be our witnesses. And so this moment is your moment. It's a moment shared because they're anniversaries of Torah and growth, and we know that your brother Jacob is streaming with us from New York right now.
He better be.
Correct, because everyone else in the family is on the bima.
Exactly.
There's mom, dad, brother, and sister. And each of you who share Simcha, may this be a moment of richness for you. That this month of August be one not only of joy reflecting back upon 50 and 53 and 48 years and 8 years, and 26 years, and 35 years.
5 years, yeah.
But may this be a time looking forward to filling your lives and your families with moments of reflection and possibility, of achievements reached and achievements yet before us, and of sharing with those whom you love, within our synagogue family and within your own personal families and even beyond. Only moments of joy and fulfillment. And may it be that the rich moments temporize those of difficulty. And may we only share with you again and again these times. Our blessings are here if we need them. We can pass it around if we need. But my guess is that this bima is filled with those in the Torah as well as anybody. Right?
I think
Right.
so.
So we share the blessing together.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. V'hol sheret ha'ov tamehu lahem lo ye'ahelu. Kol ov tahor tohelu lo tohu kol navela. Lager asher bishareha titnena ve'ahala. O mahor lenori ki am kadosh ata ladonai Eloheha lo tevashel gadi bahalev imo.
Aser taser et kol tivuat zarecha hayotze hasadeh shana shana ve'achalta lifnei Adonai Elohecha b'makom asher yivchar l'shaken shemo sham ma'asar diganecha tiroshcha ve'yitzcharecha ufchorot bekaracha ve'tzonecha למען תלמד ליראה את אדוני אלוהיך כל הימים, והרבה ממך הדרך, כי לא תוכל שאתו, כי ירחק ממך המקום אשר יבחר אדוני אלוהיך לשום שמו שם, כי יברכך אדוני אלוהיך, ונתת בכסף וצרת הכסף בידך, והלכת אל המקום אשר יבחר אדוני אלוהיך בו.
Good job.
You did a good job training him.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. This is what happens when cantors do a wonderful job training our B'nai Mitzvah. Sherry and Jean-Michel, your children are grown wonders and brilliant, and USC and Brandeis and Jacob is studying where?
Cooper Union.
At Cooper Union. And so the children of our synagogue grow and give us nachas and give us joy, and your task is to come back year after year and give the cantor a chance to show off again. And so for each of us, may we only share blessings of returning to this bima in joy year after year after year. Hugs and kisses to everyone.
Happy birthdays and anniversaries to you.
Want to sing?
Simmen tov,
Mazel tov, mazel tov, simmen tov,
simmen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmen tov. Yei lanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Yei lanu, stay up here with us now.
Stay here, Jerry's recovery.
Yei lanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Yei lanu, u'lechol Yisrael.
And we raise the Torah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה.
Page 374, we return the Torah to the ark.
על ארץ ושמיים וירם קרן לעמו תגלה חסידיו לבני ישראל עם כרובו. הללויה,
Shedut Anayin Emana, Makimat Peti. God's Torah is perfect, reviving the soul. God's teaching is sure, making wise the simple. God's precepts are right, delighting the mind. God's mitzvot are clear, giving light to the eyes. God's word is pure, enduring forever. Yirat Adonai Tahara Amedet La'ad Mishpatena Emet Sadku Yachdav. God's judgments are true and altogether just.
יצחקי למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם בכל נתיבותיה שלום השיב
I'd like to take a look at this Torah portion with you a little bit more carefully. I was thinking about asking Elitz and Rafa to give their bar mitzvah, b'nai mitzvah, Devar Torah all over again. But they're at Brandeis in USC, so you got it right there, though, right? Right there. Thought I'd step in a little bit. If you have the text here, there's an interesting little twist here. If you take a look at the text, if you look at verse 24, and then verse 25, it raises an interesting question. I'll just read it, a little bit of it for you. This is about giving your tithe, giving your sacrificial tenth of your produce, of your animals and such, and you had to schlep this stuff to the place where God had indicated, which was, of course, Jerusalem. And if you're living up in the north or the south or farther away, you got to bring your animals and your grain, first of all of your produce. You got to schlep that to Jerusalem. It's not easy, especially there weren't freeways and such. So take a look at the text. It says in verse 24, should the distance be too great for you, should you be unable to transport? I mean, you got to bring all this stuff. You had a good year. You got a lot of stuff to bring to the temple. It's a lot of work to schlep all this stuff. Look what it says in verse 25. You can convert them into money. Okay? You could take, I got some rams and some goats and some grain and such. You can monetize it, Bitcoin. Or you take it and you deposit it at Chase and you take it out in Jerusalem. You put in your shekel card at their shekel mat and you get out your coins and you can bring it to the temple and you could buy offerings there and give it to the temple. So what's this really all about? There's different understandings of this. One teaching, which I never forgot years ago, a conservative colleague of mine in Los Angeles told me that he once encountered a bumper sticker. He saw a car with a bumper sticker that said, actually I wrote it down. The bumper sticker said, if God seems to be too far away from you, which one of you has moved? That could be one way to understand it, but I've got another way to want to ask you. The teaching is nice. It says that if the Israelite lives too far from Jerusalem, she could, instead of bringing the exact animals to the temple, could bring the value of them to the temple, could bring money instead. So why? What's the Torah getting at here? Why does the Torah offer this compensation, this adjustment? Why? What's it trying to achieve? What? Oh, participation. In other words, it wants to be certain that no one's excluded. Good, Elliot. Sounds like a past president of the synagogue. No one should be excluded. All right, good. But there's some simpler answers. Zerika.
God is never too far, so if you can't make it one way, make it another way.
Good. So God's never too far. That goes back to the bumper sticker. That you should find some way. If it's too far, then it's no good, and then you're distant from God. And if you're distant from God, you're prone to what? If it's too difficult, you're prone to drop. You're prone to say, I won't go to Jerusalem this year and bring my offerings, and therefore we're going to then kind of diminish our Yiddishkeit, our Jewish life. But there's still some more basic, simple, one-word answers. What's going on here? Convenience, right? Why make it so difficult? Why don't we let the people, if they're so far away, if they've chosen to live up in Dan, which is a real schlep to Jerusalem, you were just there up in the north, in the Galil, then if we don't make it more convenient, they're going to stay in the north and never going to bring their taxes to the south and never going to get the money. Convenience and practicality. But I suggest there's something deeper than that. The Torah is endeavoring to make it easier for the Jew. Some of our Jewish brethren think that we should make it more difficult for the Jew. There's two different theories here. Should we make it easier on us to be engaged and involved, or should we make it more strenuous and demanding? How many of us think that Jewish life should make it more convenient and practical and simple for Jewish participation? Okay. How many of us think we should make it more demanding and more rigorous? You're like in between. Now we have a little moderating here. What happens when we make it more rigorous? We could say that we get greater fulfillment out of fulfilling a difficult mitzvah, right? Right? Who here is, achieved something that was so difficult, and he said, I got a great deal of satisfaction out of it. But is that the best way to operate and to conduct Jewish life? And then you could say, what happens if we make it so easy and so simple and practical, convenient, is it worth anything? Right? That's Susan's idea of moderating it. But there's something else going on here too. A much more profound response in the Torah. Catherine.
It also makes it possible to do the mitzvot, one of which is bring things to the temple at certain times.
Good. So again, the practicality and convenience. But I'm going to suggest a much more profound thought here. And that is, Torah is self-moderating. Within Deuteronomy itself, it's looking at the mitzvot and saying, we might have made this too difficult. Exactly. Torah is self-moderating. Torah is reflecting and correcting itself. That concept is profound. And it's the charge for all of us. And of course, this is, like I said at the very outset of the service, the cusp of the High Holy Day season. It's Rosh Chodesh Elul, the beginning of the month of Elul. It's the time when we do our own self-moderation, our review of our lives, our cheshbon hanefesh, our assessment of our own internal accounts. And we've got to learn to moderate and adjust and say, did I do that well or not this year? What can I adjust? If Torah in its own internal text, if Deuteronomy itself can say, we might have made a mistake, let's find a way to make this easier. Remember the movie with great Jewish comedian, Oh God, who was it who played in Oh God? George Burns, and John Denrex was in there too, but George Burns. Remember what he said about the avocado? Yeah. Remember that line? Where he's asking God, if you could do anything over again, what would you do? And George Burns says, well, I might have made the avocado pit a little bit too large. If I could do it all over again, I'd make it a little bit smaller. Here's Deuteronomy saying, we made that a little bit tough. Let's figure out another way to handle these sacrifices. The genius of Torah is if it is self-moderating, it's teaching us that Jewish life should never be so rigid, so absolute, and Torah has to allow for some change and some evolution, not only at Temple Bethel, but in the entire Jewish world. And not only in the entire Jewish world, but in every Jew. We have to be able to say, that plan wasn't perfect, let's make a new one. It's the only way, I'll argue, that we've survived for 4 millennia, is that we've continually moderated and adjusted. And Deuteronomy itself says, we'll do it right in the text, and we'll assert that no place is too far, no ritual too difficult, no part of Jewish life should be off and should exclude any individual. We all should find a place under this tent. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And it's almost Elul. It's time for us to be looking at ourselves and making those changes too. Now truly, Shabbat Shalom. We will reopen our prayer book and we'll rise. No, we won't. We're going to invite Gail to step forward first. Close your prayer book, sit down. We invite our temple president to share with us words of greeting and welcome and anything else you want to share. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. So for those who don't know me, I'm Gail Swartz. I'm one of the co-presidents of the synagogue. And first of all, I see some new faces. I see some returning faces. And I want to put out a special welcome for all of you joining us tonight. It is my pleasure to be here this evening representing the Board of Directors. Many thanks to Sisterhood, Susan Udowitz, Josie Morris, and Amanda, who's not here, for hosting our wonderful Oneg tonight. The Sisterhood gift shop will be open tonight after services. We have a lot of great activities coming up, and we hope to see you at many of them. On the 18th of August, Saturday night, at the home of Maura and James Lowenstein, is our second concert of this summer. Broadway after 1950?
Broadway 2010 to the present.
Oh, okay. 2010 to the present? New stuff. What? New stuff, yes. Please make your reservations with Shoni in the finance office or pay online. There's a button on the TV website. It is not too late, never too late, to sign up for the Glen Lawrence Golf Tournament, which will be held on Sunday, the following day. August 19th, the tournament will be held at Candlewood Country Club in Whittier. Great prizes, including a new car. Really? Sweet. Okay, but it's still, we can do that.
It could happen.
It could happen.
I've had a hole in one. But not at a golf tournament.
Please see Cantor Davidson or Andrea Lawrence to reserve your spot tonight. And lastly, you should have received your first High Holidays mailer, either by email or USPS, or snail mail, as we like to call it. Please check all of the dates for the services coming up. We begin our Days of Awe with Slichot on Saturday, September 1st. We are pleased to have Theater Dybbuk join us for an evening of wonderful performance. So there will be a kind of a writing exercise, and they'll turn it into a reading, teaching play. Okay, sweet. That evening after dinner. Please make your reservation also to the finance office for the dinner and the performance. Shabbat Shalom.
Now we reopen to page 586, and we rise for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, תת גדולה יוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו יהרסות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד
As we turn to page 598 for the Kaddish, I'm going to ask that you kindly indulge me a moment. We know that there are periods of time in grieving. The first week, the Shiva. The first 30 days, the Shoshim. The first year or 11 months, the Shana. And then this week, for me, personally, this is the Shloshim all over again, as this week was the 30th anniversary of my mother's death. And I lit the candle earlier in the week, and then the next day my daughter flew in from being out of the country, and my daughter is named for my mother. And so, although I kept most of these thoughts entirely to myself, I've been pondering this week. I talked briefly to my brother and to my sister and to my father, aware that the time keeps coming about, and Cantor and I chatted about it last Shabbat briefly, about our own personal reflections and losses of parents. But this is a Shloshim upon Shloshim for me this week. My mother was Helen. My daughter is Elena. When my mother was dying, she said, "Don't name another child after me." I asked her why, and she said she never loved her name. So we took the H off the front and put an A at the back, and we made Elena. And my daughter is in many ways like my mother. In many ways, she's so uniquely herself. When my daughter was young, she would often ask about my mother, about her namesake. And it was one of my joys to tell her about my mom, to tell her of my mother being a real spitfire at times, and other times very much a victim of life. And she died much too young. She never saw me on a bima as a rabbi. She saw me as a student rabbi, though. When I was a student rabbi in Northern California, a couple of times I arranged for pulpits in Northern California so I could be near them. And whenever I would go to her grave, I always sit down on the grave and tell her what's happened in life. And I'm not the mystic, I'm not that kind of soul, but I'm certain that she's heard every word. And the one lament of my professional life was that she never had the privilege, nor I, to share it together. And I'm perhaps here because of her more than anybody else, because in her professional life, she was a rabbi's secretary. And so we know what that means. She was the secretary for a synagogue, our smaller synagogue in Detroit where I grew up. And so I grew up with, at our kitchen table, my father was an aerospace engineer with top clearance and couldn't talk about anything except for sometimes the office politics. So what was the dinner table conversation? It was my mother saying, "You want to know what happened at the synagogue today? You want to know what the rabbi said?" And of course, the rabbi was a dear friend of ours growing up, and I learned much about the true story behind rabbinic life, that we in synagogue life, and we knew everybody in the synagogue as a young family. And my brother and I, when we became B'nai Mitzvah, the entire temple was there. So today I'm pondering and reflecting my mother's yard site on Monday night and Tuesday. And it's nice to share with you, although we don't know each other well so much yet. I have a suspicion sometime this year you'll have a chance to meet the rest of my family. My daughter, who was in town until today she left town to be away for a little bit. But it's nice to be able to share my reflections, and hopefully each of you who are sharing a remembrance of a dearest one will have a chance to share with me, Miss Susan, with Elon, and with each of us, your own reflections. And may it be that, and Kathy, we've shared, of course, because your dad was dear to me, and I had the privilege to share with you and your family and Paul sacred moments that we've shared together, and so we know what that's like. We must continue to find ways to make our stories new, even after 30 years, or even after even longer years. 38, right?
38.
38, yes. So our stories belong to each other. Their lives are a bequest that each of us would hold. And may we cherish, honor, and earn moments of reflection year after year. So there are many of us sharing yard sites, remembering those lost at this time. If we mention your dear one's name, please rise. And then we'll rise and join you for Kaddish. Remembered on the Shabbat are Julius Altman, Sarah Belzer-Turkin, Edith Bencoil, Pearl Berg, and Norman Blatt. Dorothy Burke, Pauline Cohn, Susan Cooper, David Corwin, Barbara Kramer, Stephen Fox, Lee C. Gassner, and Boris Grove, Lillian Gollin, Alex Itzkovich, Samuel Katz, Helen Cohn, Faye Kostick, Marie Krieger, James Arthur Lanigan, Rose Lench, Robert Levine, Philip Lorman, Morris Lovey, David Mintzer, and Ira Morgenstern. Stanley P. Rigler, Sadie Rosen, Frida Rosenblatt, Harold Rubin, and Joseph Samuel. Jenny Kaplan-Skarin, Becky, Schlechter, I apologize. Bernard Schleissner, Marjorie Ann Schwartz, Gertrude Shapiro, Morris Siegel, Millie Stern, Marion Babe Weinstein, and Ada Yossifer. Would there be any other names to include tonight for Kaddish? Then together we rise and we turn to page 598 to offer the words of Kaddish. Yit gadal v'kadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chi'utei v'yamlich b'achutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach, ya'olam olmei amaya. Yiparach v'ishtabach, v'pa'ar, v'tamam v'naseh. V'tadar v'taleh v'talal, shmei t'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbachata v'nechamata, ta'miran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. O say shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. We pray that the one who makes peace in the highest of places Make peace for each who grieves, each who mourns, as we say together, Amen.
Amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shabbat shalom.
Now we've got that sacred task of opening the bag of challah. If I was smart, I would have done it earlier, but I'm not that smart, but I can do this.
The ceremonial cellophane wrap.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Let's all come together. And we will either connect with the challah or connect with the one who's connecting with the challah. And we share the motzi together.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech
Olam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, Shabbat shalom.
Open up. You too. Zayn, open up and enjoy. Pass it around. It's spice, right? The kids open up. Didn't know what's coming. It's great.
Oh my God.
Look at the number of people.
I know.
I haven't seen these numbers.
7:36. That was so awesome. Walking around, teaching Uncle Tom to his head. Ooh, there's a big old piece of filet.
Anyways.
Calling me too much.
No, no. Well, we can. And we should. And then we'll follow up with the next one. That's why we did a good job. Sure.